everyone, this is Coach Michelle, and today we're going to talk about double unders. A few things we're going to talk about is your rope, common mistakes with some easy fixes, some tips to remember, a few progressions on getting better at double unders, and then I've also included some videos and a couple workouts for you to watch and practice. First of all, your jump rope. You want to make sure you have the appropriate jump rope length. So when you step on your rope, you want those handles to be at your armpits. Also, another important piece of your jump rope is your cable weight. When you're first starting out with double unders, you want a heavier weight on that cable. And then once you're more advanced, you can go lighter and thinner with that rope down to even a wire. Moving on to some common mistakes with some easy fixes. Number one common mistake I think we see is that people tend to allow their hands and their arms to move away from their body. We want to keep those hands and arms close. A physical or a tactile cue that we can use for this is a resistance band. If we wrap that around our body over our arms near our elbows and start jumping, this provides instant feedback for when those arms start to move away from the body. Another thing we see is that people tend to use their whole arm to move the rope. We want that rotation or that spin in the rope to come from our wrist, not our shoulders. Another thing we see, jumping with our feet too close together. When your feet are too close together, you might trip yourself or get off balance. If we just widen those feet a little bit to hip width or maybe slightly narrower, that evens out our balance and allows us to jump better. Another thing, pretty important thing we see, or a big mistake we see, changing the speed of our jump. There's sometimes a disconnect in our brains. When that rope starts to move faster, we want to speed up our jump too. We want to work on maintaining that jump at a smooth and even pace. Lastly, a thing we see a lot when we jump is launching into a pike or a dolphin kick or even bending at our knees. If we maintain a hollow body position, this will prevent us from bending those knees, kicking those feet forward, and it allows us to keep our legs straight. Okay, some quick tips to remember while we're jumping. Again, check that rope length. Another thing we want to do is hold those hands slightly in front of us. When you're looking with your peripheral vision, you want to see those hands out in the corners of your eyes when you're staring straight forward. If those hands move backwards, that'll affect our rope speed and length and rotation, and leads to tripping. We can find a focal point on the wall to stare at. This will allow those body mechanics to take over and just naturally jump. Another thing, if we keep our belly tight, that allows our body to maintain that vertical position that we want. Again, also try to jump up and down in roughly the same spot. If we travel around too much, that could also lead to tripping. And finally, listen to that rope. When you hear that rope hit the ground, that gives you a cue on when to jump and how fast to jump. And if your rope is a little bit thicker, watch that rope come around. When you see that in your line of vision, jump. Okay, a few progressions for us today. Things we want to remember when we're doing these progressions is perfect practice on all of these. Starting with those singles. Even if you can do double unders, take it back to the beginning. Work on singles and build back up to those doubles. And we want to see around 50 reps at each of these progressions before we move on to the next. So let's start with those perfect singles. Then let's work on this power jump. It's a long, slow, high jump, almost like you're trying to touch your head to the ceiling. The next progression is singles with a power jump. So we want to do single, 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 power jump. Once we're good at that, let's turn that power jump into a double under. Okay, let's do 3 singles plus a double. Let's get 50 great reps at that. Then 2 singles plus a double, 1 single plus a double. Like I said, once we can do around 50 reps at each progression, then we move on. Next, once we're able to do the singles with the doubles mixed, let's do perfect reps of double unders. So we want to go from a stopped position to double unders to a stopped position. So we want to do 1 double under, stop, 1 double under, stop. Again, once we can maintain about 50 reps of this, let's add in another one, 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Keep increasing those double unders so long as you're maintaining perfect repetitions. If you find that you're getting to that 8th, 9th double under and you're missing, take it back to 5 or 6, start over. Okay, lastly, we've got a couple videos, a couple workouts. that I found on YouTube, put together a couple workouts for you. You can watch these videos. They might provide some more tips for you. And then here's a few workouts just to keep practicing on those double unders. You want to maintain, try to shoot for unbroken sets on these workouts also. Again, just keep practicing, guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or any of the other coaches, Mark, Rachel, Cynthia, and Scott. We'd be glad to provide you with some tips and help you out in any way you can. Thanks for watching.